So our next speaker is Pak Budi Wardhana, fellow WWF alumnus. Budi Wardhana is currently the deputy head of the government of Indonesia's National Peatland Restoration Agency for Planning and Cooperation. At WWF, before that, he was Director of Policy, Sustainability, and Transformation. He began his career in 1989 as Assistant Lecturer for Forest Products Technology at the Forest Department in Gajah Mada University. He has also been a recipient of the Chevening Award, a postgraduate scholarship from the UK government, and was able to do his master's in the UK on international development policy. He and BRG are key decision makers in the future of what's remaining in Indonesia's forests and in the future health of Indonesia's people and the people beyond the region. So I'm incredibly thrilled for the effort that you've made to come so far to share your thoughts with us. Please.
Thank you, Stephens. This presentation is we have three parts to introduce what is BRG, why BRG is developed by the president, established by the president, and also opening up an opportunity for collaborations with the Harvard-led research team. Sam he's approached me during the Climate Week in New York and introduced these collaborations with me. And we are in the process of finalizing the concept note that I will take forward to the bigger audience in the ministries and agencies in Indonesia. So you already well informed by the disasters we have in 2015, the forest and land fires that kicked 2.6 million hectares, of which the peatland area, 875,000 hectares. It's really a big disaster in Indonesia because our GDP is down 0.2% in the event, and 600,000 people directly hit, and they have acute respiratory problems because of that, while the impacts of the forest and land fires hit 60 million, not only into Indonesia, but across the nations in the Southeast Asia. The cost for suppressing the fire is $197 million US dollar, but the total loss is $16 billion US dollar, in which the health issues of the health costs of that disasters is 150 million hectares, without counting the long-term effect of what is happening during that disaster time. So the estimate losses and damages in US dollar millions in the 8 provinces are like that. But it's, But this number, firefighting cost and also the health cost, is only one time. It's like a snapshot pictures. While after this, there's an heritage emissions, heritage problems in terms of climate, carbon emissions, and also biodiversity ecosystem services. We need to avoid these things happens again. So the president established us the BRG with this target for 5 years, 2 million hectares. We don't know yet how much is our peatlands actually, how large is our peatland actually. So we do the inventory using the satellite imagery. So this is BRG purpose. The purpose of the establishment is to accelerate restorations of degraded peatland in specific, systematic, decisive, firm, and integrated and also comprehensive. The main task is to coordinate and facilitate the restorations of 7 provinces out of the 8 provinces that hit hard during the 2015 forest and land fire. The target is to plan and implement the peatland restoration for a period of 5 years, covering 2 million hectares of degraded and burnt over peatland. And if you see the status of this peatland, in terms of land cover, the 12.9 million hectares that we have, we still have 5.3 million hectares forested. And 6.1 already converted into production area, in which 1.6 million hectares is bare land. This is the source of inherited emissions from time to time. In terms of land use, only 2.9 million hectares been declared as the protected areas, while 10.1 million hectares already declared for the production areas. So the degradation status when BRG started the task, we have burned area in 2015 around 0.9 million hectares. We don't have any exact number of this because we don't have any inventory of the peatland until today. So peat domes with canals, we have 2.8 million hectares. Intact peat, we still have 6.2. So out of these production areas, and also the protected areas, we still have 6.2 million hectares. And we have shallow pit for cultivations around 3.1 million hectares. The management status of the peatland, we have a moratorium areas. So the government, the president's really firm with the decisions. So we still have 4.4 areas of peatland declared as moratorium areas, in which you could not legally opening this area for any other purpose rather than the protections. And then protected areas, we still have 2.9 million hectares, in which 675,000 hectares of this area also burned in 2015. We have concession areas. This is production areas of 3.2 million hectares, and comprises mostly for pulp and paper plantations and also palm oil plantations. We have also community managed areas around 2.4 million hectares. So, BRG mission is to plan and design and supervise the restoration activities in all those type of management. With priority activities is to supervise the moratorium on licensing of any intact peatland, to rewet the degraded peatland, revegetations, and also water table and pit soil moisture monitoring from time to time. So the purpose of collaborations, we also invite others, not only Harvard-led team of collaborators, to produce an online decision support tool to use for us and other ministries and agencies, so that we can assess public health and other planetary health indicators into the decisions. So to forecast his events and fire activities on seasonal and sub-seasonal timescales, to support evidence-based decisions and policies. This we need really strong evidence-based decision basis for the decisions, because the planetary health is important for the survival of the humanity. So we also need to quantify cumulative economic costs avoided or benefit gains in the human health terms for the restoration activities that we implemented, and also the forecast outcomes of PRG policy scenarios under the consideration in terms of human health and other indicators of planetary health. So the science policy collaboration will be the first for BRG to consider human health impacts as part of policy making process to enhance our stewardship of natural system. And we need more of these types of science policy partnership to develop strong policies to protect the natural landscape, in which our task is on the restorations of peatland and maintaining healthy peatlands throughout Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Budi. That is one of the most exciting opportunities I think we've seen in the Planetary Alliance. It's been a focus for many years, involving the talk you heard yesterday from Miriam Marler and her work with Ruth DeFries and other colleagues, the partnership with the team at Harvard, Mantira's work on policy at Cornell, and BRG's incredible leadership in Indonesia. So thank you.